Joining us now, NBC News correspondent Hans Nichols, live from the White House. And Hans, starting off, I guess the president and the White House is stepping up their attacks on Twitter now by retweeting, reposting the president's pretty craven post on the official White House Twitter.
Well, and you say craven post. I mean, Hans, this is a post where the president of the United States advocating the gunning down of Americans for property crimes. Now, listen, we've spoken out against the looting. We've spoken out against any riots. But under any circumstances, law enforcement officers do not shoot down and gun down people for property crimes. That is what the president of the United States is advocating this morning.
And he's escalating this fight and pouring more gasoline on the fire by not only having the White House official Twitter account retweet it, right, which is retweet it with comment, which is what the Twitter guidelines were. You couldn't simply like it. You had to really own the tweet. So he's retweeting it from an official White House account. You also have his social media director, Dan Scavino, having some hot language that we can't say on a morning TV show. When you take a step back, and Jonathan was talking about this, it's so clear that President Donald Trump likes these fights. It's so clear this is exactly what he wants to do. It's a multi-front war. He's going after Twitter. He's obviously having a fight with the community in Minneapolis, taunting them, threatening violence, as you say. We haven't even mentioned the latest on COVID and what the president is saying there. And then the signaling for the past 24, 48 hours here at the White House was that there'd be an additional front in the president's wars, and that is he'd be really going after China and escalating it. A range of options for the president. Yesterday, he was talking about a press conference here at the White House today. Oddly, it wasn't in the official guidance, the schedule that they put out. But I'm losing track, guys, on how many different fronts the president is opening up. But you guys know him as well as anyone. This is someone that relishes this, and he's not afraid to cross the boundaries that you guys are talking about this morning. So I suspect today will be a day we look back on when things, I'd like to say, really change the White House, but not necessarily. It just seems like he's escalating, and I don't know where this ends. Guys?
Yeah. Well, and Hans, of course, so much of this, as we've always said, to our viewers, so much of this is a distraction from the 100,000 dead in a pandemic where the president of the United States had said it was one person coming in from China. That's what I've been telling people this week when they've called up asking, what is happening? What is it? I said, it's all a distraction. You've got to stay focused on what matters. The pandemic matters. Of course, Minneapolis matters now, but it's just like in the South Carolina primary. When Nikki Haley endorsed Marco Rubio, that is when the president of the United States picked his fight with the Pope. Now he's moved from the Pope to Twitter to cable news hosts. He's gone downhill quickly.
Look, guys, I don't know where today ends. I suspect we're in for a ride. And again, COVID is obvious very seriously. You know, the 100,000 dead Americans, a major sad milestone. But when you talk to experts in the Pentagon or in the national security community, one of the challenges is how you get the American relationship right with China. That's going to define the next 100 years. And the president seems to be in a fighting mood, and we'll see what option he chooses today. Obviously, there are changes taking place in Hong Kong with a loss of autonomy. So this is a decision day for the president, and we just have to keep talking to all our sources and trying to figure out what's going on and hopefully report as accurate as we can. Guys?
NBC's Hans
Nichols at the White House. Hans.
Yeah, go ahead, Willie. We're sorry.
Thanks. I was just going to say, though, just a bit of history to sprinkle in here. When the looting starts, the shooting starts. That phrase is not a creation or an invention of President Trump. That was used back in the 1960s by a police chief in Miami. He coined that phrase. He used it to justify brutal crackdowns on what he called hoodlums in the slums during civil rights protests as they turned violent in some cases. So the president, a callback to the 1960s in a time of crackdown on civil rights protesters.
It's a clear echo. And again, we can argue about the propriety and have our opinions on what it means. What's clear is that the president thinks this helps him politically, and he's willing to pour more and more gasoline on the fire. You guys remember back in March when he did the Oval Office address talking about COVID? Now is not the time for partisanship. He's pledged to put partisanship aside. That was what, 2.5 months ago? And does anyone think that there's less partisanship in the country now than there was at the beginning of this crisis? And color me as not an optimist, but I don't suspect we're going to, and the officials that I talk to don't give any indication that the president is going to de-escalate and that this is going to get in any sort of healing situation. Guys?
All right, NBC's Hans Nichols live at the White House. And the next time we see you, you'll be working for Axios. So we look forward to that. Congratulations. Hans Nichols, thank you very much.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me.
Thanks, Hans.
All right. See you soon. Up next, an important discussion with faith leaders amid these extremely turbulent times on several fronts. We're back in a moment.
Thanks for checking out MSNBC on YouTube, and make sure you subscribe to stay up to date on the day's biggest stories. And you can click on any of the videos around us to watch more from Morning Joe and MSNBC. Thanks so much for watching.